Guys, Jungle Bob here. So continuing on with this Yardman 27.5 inch. You can see we've got it all cleaned up here now. We've got all the grass and stuff out, and we're going to start putting it back together. So let's get right into it. All right. So I guess the first thing to do. Oh yeah, we got the new batteries charged up overnight. I don't know exactly how long it took. I think maybe about an hour and a half. So tested it this morning, and it's testing at like 12.9 something. So we're good to go on that. Got a little wash going around. So we're gonna put this cover back on. And I've already changed the spark plug too, because it's kind of hard to get to when you after you get everything back together. Anyway, take these back bolts out too. I just put them in there so I didn't have to keep up with them. It's a good sunny morning. We've got some rain coming in overnight, so I'll try to get as much done as we can today. May have to pause in a minute. I got a customer coming to pick up a lawnmower. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go with the. Oh yeah, that's the cover. It's a Yardman. It's a Briggs & Stratton 9 horsepower. I believe it's a 2002 engine. All right. So it's just the reverse of how we took everything apart. We'll put the cover back on. We want to make sure we get these tins in the right place up under the cover over here. That one kind of got bent a little bit. I'm going to have to bend it back. All right. Make sure you got everything lined up good. That should do that. Go ahead and put these back in. Now they sit up a little higher, so you don't want it all the way down, but there's a spacer on here that keeps you in line. It's just so this cover doesn't get up around this flywheel too close to it. That's all that is. All right. So now we'll go back over to this side. We're going to put the this bracket back on that holds the gas tank. It sits up there just like that. Now I'm not tightening any of these down all the way until we just get everything in its right place, and then we'll go back and tighten everything up. All right. Now we want to get this little bracket that holds the oil filler tube on. Alright. And we'll come back around here. It's going to be the starter cover. And the reason, in the previous video, the reason it wouldn't come up with the cover is because it's got these flanges on the underneath down here. So that was just my bad. And we're going to have to take this oil stick back loose in order to put the starter cover on. So said, it's got to go up underneath there. Like so. All right, now we can put this old thing on. All right, and I believe everything is attached. Looks good. We can go back and tighten everything down. So the big confusion yesterday was over these starter things. It is a 1/4 inch. I just had the 1/4 inch socket in the wrong spot on my speed rail, but all right. And this old thing's not a 1/4 inch. I believe it's I forgot what it was, 8mm, I believe. Yeah. So it's an 8. Make sure that's on there pretty good so it doesn't vibrate loose, because you don't want that oil tube to pop out. Of course, it'd be kind of hard since this cover's on there like this. All right, these backside bolts are 7/16 and hold that bracket on. And I'm just going to move this battery to the side for now so I can get in here on these. I believe these were 10mm maybe. Yeah, 10 will work. I'm gonna get my socket with the 10mm. Be right back. All right. 10mm on the front, or a 3/8. It's actually a 3/8, but I just substitute for 10mm because, hey, I like to say 10mm. How many times you reckon we say 10mm in the whole course of a work day working on a small engine? I need that 10mm. Can you get me that 10mm? I bet. A whole bunch. All right. Got that done. Now, like I said, all this looks good. We're going to get the gas tank now. Now, I've had this gas tank I sprayed it out. I've had it soaking out and sitting out in the sun. Like I said, we're going to change this fuel line out. So just take the old fuel line off. Release this little clamp, fuel hose clamp. Slide it back. I'm not really worried about damaging the hose, but it comes right off. Nipple. All right, we're changing this whole thing, so I've already got some new fuel line here, and we're just going to I am going to add a cutoff on here too for him, but we're just going to kind of measure this out and cut us a piece, cut us 2 pieces. So you got your, what we want to do is come off the tank first, so kind of get an idea of how far that is and where it sits. We want to put a cutoff coming right off the tank, but I want it to be accessible to the customer, so I'm going to put it somewhere right about there. So let's measure that, and we still want to keep in mind we need to leave enough room to get a filter in between that and the carburetor, right? So let's go to about right there, and we'll just cut that. Boom. Alright. So this sits this way. I kind of want to angle it that way. So I'm going to put my curve facing toward me. I'm going to slip me a clamp over this. Put this on here. Alright, fix our clamp back. Alright, so now we got that coming down. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in place just to kind of mock everything up. And we'll come above the all right, let's see if I can get you. So we're just going to make our next piece, which is going to be the fuel shut off. Right, so I'm going to need another clamp. We'll need another clamp, and you want to see which direction this says the fuel flow is going. So it's like this. So let's get our clamp on there. Let's see here. I'm probably blocking the whole view. Sorry about that. All right. So we got our clamp on there. Fuel direction, going the right direction. Get that nice and snug. Move that clamp back down. Voila, there you go. So now we're ready for our next piece of hose. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait on putting the next piece of hose on till we get the carburetor done and ready to go on there, because I want to mount the carburetor and get the exact fit for that. So we'll continue on here in a little bit. Once that carburetor is clean, it's soaked overnight. Well, it's out. I pulled it out last night, but you know, when I got through with it in the ultrasonic. So I'm going to be putting that back together here in a minute. And we'll go from there. Alright guys, so we got the carburetor out of the ultrasonic. Looks much better. I've decided not to take the main jet out because I'm afraid I'm going to strip it. It's just in there. But I've been able to poke it with my little bread tie, some tips, and it goes straight through. Everything's clean. All the portals, I've sprayed everything out with carburetor cleaner. Now the only problem is I'm out of Briggs & Stratton bowl gaskets. So I robbed a gasket off a Kohler. It's more of an O-ring than it is a gasket, but I think it may serve the purpose. We're going to do a bench test like we always do before we put it back on to see. If not, I'm going to have to wait a day for the right gasket to come in. So this is the bowl. It cleaned up fairly well. There's still a little bit of pitting in there, but not much. So, and this gasket on here, I don't have the nut gasket for this. But this one's still on here. Seems like it may work. Like I said, we're going to see. And since I had to order me some gaskets anyway, I just ordered me a couple carburetor kits. But this is the needle. It's all cleaned up. The rubber tip looks fairly well underneath the magnifying glass. Like I said, this may be a fail, but we're going to see anyway. So let's put it together and give it a bench test. So you're going to take your thing and put your needle right in there, let it hang. Right, go down right into the hole and start your pin. Alright, so I just slid that right through like that. Now that looks it looks pretty level. Now it's working free, it's not stuck anymore. Now we'll find out if all these seals are going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bowl on. And I've already done the blow test. It seems to work right now. But anyway, I'm mainly concerned with it leaking once the bowl fills up with gas, or leaking out this nut here for now. Because the last thing you want to do is get this all mounted back up and everything, and then it's leaking and you got to take it all back off again. Let's see, I believe this is a 12. Thought it was a 10, but it's not a 10 either. There we go. It's a 12. Wouldn't you know it, my sockets are way over there. So I meant my ratchet. So we just want to snug this down really good, not too tight, but we want to get it, especially since we're not using the right gaskets. I'm hoping that O-ring will work though. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Alright, so we're on there. So now, let's move over to the testing area. So, I've got me a gas tank up here, fuel cut off, fuel line. I've got me a box so we can look at it. And I just used an old flywheel off, I think this is off a blower, a BR600 blower. Shot, the flywheel key's bad in it. We're going to set it up in there to keep it level. Hook up the fuel line. one's being a little difficult. Just want to get it level like that, and then we're going to turn the gas on and see what happens. We'll know pretty quick. We're also checking the needle and seat too as well. We'll know if it starts flooding out the top. If gas starts coming out of here, the needle and seat's bad. If gas comes out around here, that O-ring I put in there is not going to work. And if it leaks out the bottom, the seal on the bottom is not working. But I know the carburetor's clean and all the passages are clean on it and everything, so we're going to let this sit for 5 or 10 minutes. But basically, in about a minute we should know, once that bowl fills up. And it's already cold, so I know it's full of gas already. So, looks like my customer just is pulling up now. So I'm going to pause you and I'll come back. Well, I will wait and let him get in the driveway good. So far, so good, no leaks. It's a good thing. Yeah. So if it starts leaking, I'll let you know, but for right now, we're just going to call it good. Yeah. All right. Later. Let's get on this carburetor. So still no leaks. So we're going to take it off and put it on the right way. First thing, cut the fuel back off. And we'll take this line back off. Try not to break this plastic piece. That's all we need right now. All right, here it comes. All right. So we'll slide this back off. Well, you can't slide it, you got to take the studs out. My bad. Take these studs out. And just to prove there was gas in here. There is? Yeah, there we go. So it was holding fine. Alright, so now we're going to need, this is the gasket, heat shield gasket, manifold sealer gasket. Serves two purposes, right? But first, we're going to get this, get these linkages back in here the right way. So we've got the spring and the throttle linkage. Carburetor sits like this. You kind of got to, it's got a little curve on it, so it's kind of, you know, you got to kind of finagle with it just a little bit. Get it rotated the right way. And don't bend it. Alright. So, we got that. Now we're going to put this spring back in. You can use needle nose if you want to. I try it this way first. And then if I can't get it, I'll use some needle nose, but we got it. Alright. Then we got to get our gasket, which I just had. I don't know what I did with it. Had it in my hand. Where is it? Where, oh where are you today? Let's see. Hold on. Hold the phone. Right there under my nose. Alright. So, you can do this a couple ways, whatever's more comfortable, but I like to go ahead and get them started. Go ahead and go through the gasket. like that. And then we can start threading them by hand. Alright. Oh yeah, the choke linkage. I should have showed you that before we did this, but so back off. My tutorial is not too good, huh? We'll get it. Hey, I've got it all the way back together first before and forgot that back in the early days. So when I took it off, it came out of this first hole, and it goes underneath. It's like a scoop underneath like that. And then you want to get it back through this hole back here. It's not hard, you just gotta have a little patience. And then once you get everything situated, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Alright. Back through the carburetor with the bolts. Through the gasket. And start threading them on. Alright. And I believe these are 5/8. Let's see what it is. 5/16, not 5/8. 5/8 would be way too big, huh? Yeah. Okay. We'll go ahead and get these snugged on tight. Just get them kind of both even snugged and then tighten them down the rest of the way. And they don't got to be super cranked on there, just make sure, you know. I kind of just apply a little pressure like that in between my thumb and right there when I can't move it anymore with that, that's good enough. That should be fine. Alright, now let's wipe up this gas. We'll go ahead and put this fuel clamp on this side. Alright, hook her back up. Alright, now we can turn our gas back on and we're going to check for leaks one more time. Make sure there's still gas in there. I didn't put a whole lot. I hate giving away gas. We'll let that sit for just a second. I'm going to pause you and go get me a cigarette and have a cigarette break while we're waiting. Alright, still not leaking. So now where we're at is I've got to change the oil anyway in this thing. And we want to make sure she runs okay. So what I'm going to do is give her a test fire. But first we're going to check and make sure there is oil in here. And there he is. Let's see. There is oil in it. It's about halfway in between the add and the full line, but good enough to test it out. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you back here. Y'all can tell me if it leaks. I'm going to have to go up front and hold the brake to turn it over. let's see what happens. I think we're ready. Double check everything. All right, fellas, here we go. Choke is all the way up. Brake is on. So I hope all that smoke I see is oil coming burning off the muffler. Noticed it's surging. Good thing about keeping this original carburetor here, we can do a little adjusting on it. So let me see if I can't fine tune her, and we'll get back later. Let's try it again. Alright, so that's not bad for a first run. Notice that oil is still burning off the muffler because it was probably burning some oil through the, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what this thing's been through, but we'll let all that burn off. In the meantime, I'm going to drain the oil. On this one, the plug is right here at the end of the stick. I think it's an Allen head. You have to drain it right there, so I'm going to put me a little thing under here and let that oil drain. I'm sure y'all don't want to watch that, so let me get that done and we'll go on from there. So we got the oil drained, and good thing we did. It poured out just like water. So I guess when that needle and stuff froze on it, they added some more gas and it just drained it all into the crankcase. So at least we know we got a clean crankcase. So I've just now got through adding oil, waiting to check the level. We got all this back on. So as soon as I get the oil level right, we'll probably do one more fire it up, and I'm not going to show putting all this back cover back on. Once I get it on, I may show it all put back together so you can just get an idea what it looks like. But alright guys, it looks like this is going to be a win-win. We'll see. So this is going to be the last video on the Yardman Yard Bug. See the back's on. Kind of cleaned it up a little bit for the customer so he'll be surprised. Yeah. He was a first time customer, so I want to impress him a little bit. Cleaned all that up. All that's nice and clean. I guess the important thing is, does it run? surgeons because it's about out of gas. It's not anything wrong with it. I need to put some more in there. Yeah, Henry, I found me a black tie strap, buddy. There you go. Yeah. Needs a little gas. Probably needs a valve job too, but you know, he doesn't want to do that now. But anyway, that's it on this one, guys. So that's going to conclude the series on the Yardman Yard Bug. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Jungle Bob out.